Hi everyone, it's thanks Jay for your speech. I took lots of notes in the background. And it's my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Abann. He wears many hats, so many of you know him, and speaks also many languages. It's English, of course, one of them, as well as Arabic and Shilluk. And he is a community advocate, an author, an educator, and of course the general manager of Aotearoa Resettled Community Coalition. He's a strategic, visionary change maker, and he's driven by humanitarian values and an approach, and it's my pleasure to welcome him. And I've got like a long list I'm trying to remember. He's a fellow of Winston, Churchill Memorial Trust. He won New Zealander of the Year, I think in 2016. And he's also represented New Zealand's resettlement communities at the Geneva Annual Tripartite Consultations about resettlement. So please welcome Abann.
I think that will do my speaking, is it?
That's pretty good.
Nahami nui tina kato. Ladies and gentlemen, my name Abann. That's it, the name has been given to New Zealand. I'm the general manager to Aotearoa Resettled Community Coalition. Just before I go to my reflection, I've been given opportunity to reflect on Professor Sophia and also Dr. J. But I would like to really reflect to say it will be hard if I will be in one roof with Dr. J as a speaker, because he took in all what I tried to say. And he left me without saying anything. First of all, I would like to acknowledge to say thank you for all of you being here and leaving other commitment behind. And thank you for the organizers. My reflection is really, today the context is international context, not just about New Zealand. But when we talk about refugees, social cohesion, given the background where I come from, I left my country when I was 13 years old. I've been in display 14 years. I've been in asylum in Middle East Syria for 5 years, and I've been in New Zealand for 15 years. This is just my journey short. In the context of New Zealand policies, I think it will be important that we need to distinguish or to define some things in order for us to do it right. As Dr. J mentioned about the languages matter, it's not just only in the context of New Zealand, it's a context of my country of origin. Because culture, sometimes there are two cultures. There is a visible culture and invisible culture. In the situation of the refugees, first of all, if I need to define it in my own view, is someone who don't have a voice, someone who don't have a country, someone always rely to someone to help them out. This is the refugees. And those refugees who will be in the second country of asylum. And we consider New Zealand is a resettlement country, it's not a refugees country. When we receive refugees overseas, we have been given the mandate, you're losing your refugees status and we're giving you a permanent resident. Which is mean we receive them as refugees and we make them as New Zealanders. That's as simple as that. And I have just gathered some of the definitions, what social cohesion really means in the context of Western society. I have the countries which is in a high regard of the good reputation in the world I have Canada, I have France, I have New Zealand, Australia, Denmark, and European Union. And those definitions, I have the resource from the Canada government in 1999. What really they say in all those 6 different dimensions internationally, the social cohesion is means the sense of belonging of the community and the relationship among members, the community itself. From our context as a New Zealand, belonging, what does that mean? I always recall when we have elections every 3 years, this is where I see myself as a New Zealander. When I involved in inviting community by the service providers to tell community what their right is to exercise the democracy of New Zealand, that is where I've been identified as a New Zealander. Why? Because I have a voice to go and vote. That's the time, the only time I see myself, I'm a New Zealander. The rest of other years, I'm a refugee. And to tell you the truth, Dr. J mentioned the resettlement is about protection and safety, but I need to add more to it because that is how I come out from that. The trauma people talk about it associated with the refugee journey. People call it refugee journey, but I call it resettlement journey. Because my journey starts from my country of origin, South Sudan, and I end up in New Zealand. So this is where my destination is. But what I'm trying to say here, resettlement is about healing. It's not just it's about healing. How did I heal myself? Because if you are considering myself as a refugee standing before you, I heal myself because I open up. I speak. I advocate on myself. And that allows me to advocate on behalf of other people who don't have a voice. But the healing process, that's the most important element. We New Zealanders, we need to take that approach. The healing process where someone knows that I have a place to call home. When they come to the market, they go to school, they need to see themselves they are part of the society. They need to be valued by those people around them. I often argue with some of the service providers. Lately, we have a community consultation. We have 4 consultations with different voices. Young people, women, elders, men. The Immigration New Zealand asked a question. What makes you to say, I love New Zealand? What makes you to feel you belong to New Zealand? And actually, I took the opportunity to reach many people as I can in order to capture those voices. With all those conversations, 4 things come up. We need New Zealand to listen. Because where we come from, we have the knowledge we brought with us. We have the culture we brought with us. And we're trying to express it when we have the opportunity. We need services to listen to us and understand where we're coming from. They need them to recognize us as just a human. We need them to resource us in order for us to stand in our leg. Because we are here to rebuild our life. We lost enough. But what we're looking for, we're looking for New Zealanders. And by the way, we are a lucky nation. We have the concept of the Maori, Manaki Changa. Harua, where is it? Caring, where is it? Sharing, where is it? Can we ask ourselves as a New Zealanders? It doesn't matter what is your background is. But New Zealand as a country will bring us all together. Can we do what we're supposed to do and do right? It's not just feeling sorry for those people. So we have a role to play, each and every individual of us. Your voice, or whatever you do in life, is count. If we're looking forward to see ourselves proud of this country, as I am proud of, Let us try our best to define what we're really talking about here in an international context when it comes to a social cohesion. What it means to us is between host society. When we talk about host society, it's we in this room. When we talk about the refugees, there are refugees in this room. Because those are target audience, we want to talk to them so that they can listen to what we say. How many refugees in this room? You see? Because those are target audience for them to understand how to connect with other New Zealanders. As a whole society, you're sitting here. What is really you're going to get out from this talk? Are we going to be carried on with our being applied, or we need to challenge ourselves to do something? Let us challenge ourselves. And I love this country like anyone else, because that's the only country in the world who give me opportunity. And I need to take that opportunity to give back to New Zealand. As Dr. J mentioned before, we've been working in where we are working today for 9 years doing a voluntary work. And not because we don't want to rebuild our life, but there are people outside there even that can't help themselves. And I am sure what we find out from our consultation, there is a big gap between New Zealand public and government. What's in a resettlement, many New Zealanders, they don't understand what resettlement means. But to cut it off, this is the code that come out from the consultation with the community. Before you judge us, hear from us. Don't listen about us. And that is really very important. So now, listenings, understandings, recognizing, and resourcing them, that's the most important element of the value, how we help those people who come to this country to settle. And thank you so much.